Everybody, welcome back to the St. Louis State Jazzcats Dynasty. Last week we did lose to our rival 31-7, but considering they are in the SEC, that is honestly not too bad and a large improvement from the year prior. We saw Bryce Baker start his first ever game for Missouri. He kind of torched us a little bit with Joshua Manning as well, but that game is behind us, and today we're looking forward to facing the Ball State Cardinals with quarterback Stephen Wakefield. He is a senior, and he is going to be hopefully taking this Ball State Cardinals team to a new level. He already has 3 touchdowns this year and 2 interceptions, and that is on 50% completion. He has thrown completions on exactly half of his passing plays. Now we're going to move it back to running back Stacey Gage, who is a sophomore, but he's also a captain. He has 2 touchdowns this year along with 73 yards, and he also is quite the receiver in his own respect. He has, 1 catch for 12 yards. You also see Dylan Wade, the tight end, who is also a captain for them, and he is a senior as well. And then we see Amir Glenn. He is a defensive tackle for this team. And Parker Shaver, he was a guy that we looked at for the St. Louis State Jazzcats last year in the recruiting class. He ended up going to Ball State, and he's going to be their second defensive tackle for them. This is Wendell Crothers, a sophomore cornerback, along with Derek Fields, who is their starting free safety. See, he's pretty quick, has good IQ, and that leads him to Wendell Crothers leads in tackles, and Sam Feeney leads in sacks with 1. The team only has 1 sack on the year, no interceptions, so this defense isn't going to make a lot of big plays. They did lose to Liberty in a closer game, but then lost to Ohio State 55-17. But really, who can blame them? We're going to waste no time and get this game on the way as we see Luis Fonseca. He's going to get the kickoff, and Ball State are going to return that. That is Jamarian McDougal on the return. He receives Stephen Wakefield, the 6'2 junior. They are going to start this on the 26. 11 personnel with Dylan Wade, the star tight end, on the left side. They are going to target their receiver there. That is, I believe, Alicia Durham on the target. We see an option to the right, and we see the running back break free. That is Elijah Jackson, who is actually their 3rd string running back, but he's going to get some plays here. This time it is a handoff to Stacey Gage. He's the captain for Ball State. That is going to be a pickup of 6. 2nd and 4 now. That is going to be an RPO, and that is going to be Alicia Durham on the catch. He's going to make it all the way up to the 39. They are now well within Jazzcat territory. It's going to be another play action. That was an option. Stephen Wakefield decides to call his own number, and that is not a good idea as they lose 2. He's going to drop back this time, and he's going to throw it down the seam. That is broken up. That is Donovan McIntosh. He transferred here to the Jazzcats this season. He hasn't made quite the impact we thought, and maybe had an opportunity to intercept that ball, but he does knock that down. And now we see the first action of Dylan Wade. That is caught, and a pickup of 8, but it was not enough for the first down, so Ball State is forced to punt, which honestly I need to check who their kicker is, because punting from less than 40 yards away is quite the choice here. Here we see Dante Selvia, the freshman quarterback for St. Louis. 2 interceptions and 1 touchdown last year. He's going to elect to hand it off to Antoine Riverman, first play of the game, and that is a gain of 10, but we do not make it past the markers. 2nd and inches. This time it goes to another running back, and that is Cordell Houston on the carry. Now we bring our 3rd running back of the day. That is Demetrius Day. He gets a gain of 2, and we are spreading the carries around. 2nd and 8. One more time to Demetrius Day. He cuts right, and he's going to get it up to the 41 for a gain of 1. Here we see some motion in the backfield. A play action pass this time. He's going to strike, and that is overthrown. Amen Belfast on the target. They do not convert the third down and punt it back to Ball State. That is a handoff to Stacy Gage, and he gets a gain of 7 up to the 34. And that is going to be a fake handoff. That was an option play. And that is going to be caught by Jamarian McDougal, who had the return earlier in the game. He is their wide receiver 3 and their kickoff return specialist. Here we see Stacy Gage out of the backfield catching a pass on the wheel for the first down. Well within the Jazzcat territory again on the 32, but this time we blitz him, and that is sacked. That is Omarion Blues. We've seen him sack the quarterback a few times before on those safety blitzes, and he does it again that time. And that is a sack for Stephen Wakefield. And we almost get him again on 2nd and 16. He throws the ball away, though, and now it is 3rd and long. You have to make it to at least the 23 to get the first down. They're going to test deep, single coverage, and that is knocked down. McIntosh on the coverage forces the punt. This time we're going to have Dante Selvia take it on the option. Gain of 7 for him. First time he's really ran it today. 2nd and 3. What did the Jazzcats do here? They drop back, and that is a bad pass on the curl route from Dante Selvia. You're really hoping he can clean that stuff up. He's going to drop back again. This time he hits his target, Amen Belfast, for the first down. 1st and 10, Antoine Riverman in the backfield. We're going to hand it off to him, but he gets stopped short. It's almost like they knew we were running that play. 2nd and 11, less than a minute left in the first quarter. That's going to be passed to Demetrius Day, but it is going to be a holding penalty from McIntosh, our center. And that is going to be a loss of 10. 2nd and long, time winding down in the first quarter, and we're going to do a quick strike there to our tight end. We got some time now in the backfield, 3rd and 13. He throws a strike, but it is dropped. Amen Belfast on the target. That is the end of the first quarter. We have more rushing yards. They have more passing yards, and we do have to kick the ball back to them. First play of the second quarter, they hand it off to Stacy Gage, the running back, and that is a loss of 3. 2nd and 13. See 10 personnel here, scat protection. They have time, though, in that scat protection. That is, again, Jamarian McDougal catching a ball against us. He's having a pretty big day already. We try to get some pressure there. They test single coverage again. That's Alicia Durham, and he does not bring that down. 4th and 6, Jazzcats get the ball back. It has been a back-and-forth game where both teams haven't really been able to convert, but this time we get a screen pass to the back. That is Gorgeous Rhodes. And that is a first down. What an electric screen pass. You don't get to say that often. As DeLorean Hampton gets the catch there, and first time the Jazzcats are past the 50 as we hit DeLorean Hampton on the screen. 11 personnel. We hand it off to Demetrius Day, who's seeing more carries today than he has before. That is a gain of 5 for the Jazzcats. It is going to be an RPO this time, and DeLorean Hampton gets the pass. He stiff arms a guy for the first down. Now we see Logan Langley in motion on 1st and 10, but it is a handoff to Demetrius Day. He breaks to the outside, tries to juke a guy, and he'll be down with the gain of 6. It is now in motion again, 2nd and 4, but they get pressure almost immediately. And that is a sack on the play. We got time here on 3rd and 11. We get it up to Gorgeous Rhodes, and he gets tackled into the first down. Maybe a nice spot for us there. Maybe not exactly first down, but we're going to hand it off to Antoine Vertman this time, and he gets tackled nearly into the first down again. 2nd and inches. We're going to hand it off to Demetrius Day this time, and he does not get the first down, so it is now 3rd and inches in the red zone. We hand it off to Demetrius Day one more time, and he does not get the first down, but it doesn't matter because that is holding by Tom Bates. 3rd and 10 now. And hopefully we can get something moving here. We got time. We pass it to Logan Langley, but he only can get, again, a 5. And now it is another holding penalty by Johansson. So it is 4th and 6. They decline the holding penalty, and that is a made kick by Fonseca. Jazzcats leading 3-0. Those penalties really killed us at the end of that drive. 2 back-to-back penalties. We were 8 yards away from a touchdown as Stephen Wakefield scrambles there for the first down. 2-minute warning hits. Let's see what Ball State can do here at the end of the half. As we get a sack, that is Richard Castellan on the sack. That is not the first time we've seen him do that this year, and he is poised to have a good year. 2nd and 13 now for this Ball State offense. They get the ball out, and that is Elijah Jackson again on the catch. Gain of 6. 3rd and 7 now. Stephen Wakefield, he launches it, and that is nearly picked off. McIntosh again on the coverage. He has had lockdown coverage today. He has shown how valuable that transfer is. And now we see, no, he misses it. Gorgeous Rhodes was open on the streak. I mean, wide open. All you have to do is hit him in stride, and we fail to do that. It is now 2nd and 10, and honestly, we could have gone up 2 scores at the end of the first half if we made that play. But we can't convert, and that is something that Dante Selvia is going to have to get better at. 3rd and 10, we strike Logan Langley in the flats. Tom Bates is injured, our right guard, and that is a huge loss for us. 1st and 10 now, Ball State. That is a pass to Dylan Ware, the tight end. And it is 2nd and 5 after a gain of 5. This time we get a sack again. That is Michael Red blitzing. Caleb Red, excuse me. Sorry, I showed my Bucks fandom. That is Caleb Red, the transfer in, and we immediately gave him captain's status, and that is for exactly plays like that, blitzing the A-gap and sacking the quarterback. They get a first down on the next play, though, and now we see them throw a screen pass to Stacey Gage, who that goes nowhere. 2nd and 11, 45 seconds left in the half. Ball State is down 3. Let's see what they can do here. Scat protection. Stephen Wakefield immediately dumps it off to Dylan Ware, but DJ Sprinkle, our starting defensive tackle, gets injured, so that is going to be a stopped clock for them as they strike. That is, I believe, Elijah Jackson, who also plays slot for them, catching the pass there. It is now 1st and 10, 25 seconds left. Scat protection again, trips to the left. Stephen Wakefield has time. He decides to scramble, and he's going to get down to the 25-yard line. We've seen them pump from nearly this close a couple possessions ago, so are they in field goal range? We don't know. We have not been able to see the kicker really kick pregame, but with the moves Elijah Jackson's making there to gain 8, it is fair to say that they are in field goal range. So they're going to spike it with 4 seconds left in the half and bring on the kicker. And it is good. That is Joe Graves on the kick, and he's going to convert, so it is going to be a tied game going into halftime. And Joe Graves is going to kick it straight back to us to start the second half. We return the ball. That is Latrell Thompson on the return. He gets it out to the 23-yard line, and we're going to hand it off to Antoine Riverman, who gets a gain of 10, 2nd and inches once again. He's had a couple runs this game where he gets 10 yards, but they don't give him the first down. Dangerous pass there by Dante Selvia, but it's caught by DeLorean Hampton for the first down. DeLorean Hampton has improved a lot over the offseason, and it is showing this season. We hand the ball off to Antoine Riverman there for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7 at the top of the third quarter. We're going to pass it to the tight end once again, but he drops it. That is Logan Langley. 3rd and 7 now, 11 personnel, and we're going to try to get Gorgeous Rhodes on the out route, but it is missed wildly. That is the inaccuracy we're going to see from a freshman quarterback as they get a screen pass there. That is Isaiah Tracker. That is his first pass catch of the day. Or I'm sorry, Isaiah Thacker. We see Elijah Jackson there with a loss of 1. It is 2nd and 11 for Ball State. Stephen Wakefield, he has time, and it is going to be broken up. That is Hunter Kleinfelder on the breakup. 3rd and 11 now. They're going to test double coverage, and it is nearly picked off again. The Kleinfelder, he had the breakup the play before, and he gets the breakup there as well to give the ball back to the Jazzcats. 1st and 10, Dante Selvia rolls to his right. He's going to get the first down and slowly run out of bounds. You'd hope to see a little bit more speed from him, but he gets the first down nonetheless. 1st and 10, quick pass, and that is luckily caught by Amen Belfast for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7, halfway through the third quarter, and he is sacked. A loss of 8 on the play. Now it is 3rd and long. These are the worst positions you can get to as a team, and it is intercepted. He throws into triple coverage, and that is picked off. That is Miles Greer on the interception. He is a senior for Ball State, and he secures a turnover for them to put him in great position. And now we see a long developing play. That is Dea Patel for Ball State on that catch to put him at the 8-yard line. 1st and goal. Stephen Wakefield keeps the option, but it is stopped in the backfield. We drop them back 4 yards. 2nd and goal still. Stephen Wakefield, he elects to run once again, and he gets the yardage back. 3rd and goal. 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Let's see with Stephen Wakefield. He has time. That's Dylan Ware the catch, and it is a touchdown, Ball State, by their senior captain tight end, Dylan Ware. And that is going to be a converted point after touchdown. Jazzcats get the ball back at the end of the third quarter, down a score. They elect to hand it off to Demetrius Day, who hasn't had a lot of running success today, but they're going to keep him on the field for 2nd down. It is a pass this time, and it is a dangerous pass to DeLorean Hampton. He's going to unfortunately not catch it, but I don't know if it would have been a gain of yards. Anyways, it is 3rd and long, where Jazzcats keep getting themselves in these positions, but it is a drag catch by Gorgeous Rhodes, and he breaks it all the way up to the 40. He shows great run after catch ability. And maybe we need to draw up some more plays where he gets it in the flats. But here we see Demetrius Day on the screen, who gets a gain of 5. We don't have a lot of speed at the running back position. Hopefully that's something we can fix this offseason. We see a flag on the play and an errant pass. Why'd you throw that? Let's see what the flag is. And it was holding, so Ball State is going to keep the ball. And that was an errant interception, just a freshman mistake by Dante Selvia. You just cannot do that down a score late in the third quarter and expect to have good results. You threw it cross-body with the defender in the area. But I digress, as Ball State has it in 3rd and long. It is going to be Stephen Wakefield out to his left, and it is broken up, luckily, and it is holding anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. We do accept that penalty instead of decline it to give them 3rd and long instead of 4th and 9. They attack Alicia Durham. It's going to be broken up, luckily, but honestly a bad coaching mistake there, accepting that penalty instead of declining it. We hand it off to Demetrius Day again, and he's going to get a gain of 4. Now it is the start of the fourth quarter. Jazzcats still down a touchdown, and that is going to be another dangerous pass to Logan Langley, but he does catch it. So Jazzcats move the sticks. Here we see another handoff to Demetrius Day. He breaks out to the outside a little bit, and that is a gain of 7, one of his best runs of the day. Here we see DeLorean Hampton in motion on 2nd and 3, and another handoff to Demetrius Day, but he is taken down in the backfield. 3rd and short. Let's see what Dante Selvia does here. He's going to scramble to his left, and he's going to flip it. No, he doesn't make it. Gorgeous Rhodes was wide open again, and Dante Selvia overthrows it for the 2nd time today to him. They're going to have to get on the same page if they're going to want any semblance of a good offense this year. Ball State with the ball back, converting on their first play on the first down, and that is another pass. Alicia Durham on the catch. 7 minutes left to go in the game, and the Ball State Cardinals driving down the field, hoping to put this game away. Stephen Wakefield almost gets sacked, though, and that is lucky that is not a fumble, as he kind of just flips the ball forward. That is going to be another RPO. That is going to be a pass to Dylan Ware, who gets a loss of yardage on the catch. And this time it's going to be a run option as Stephen Wakefield catches it and jukes out our safety. You know, I wouldn't have put it down on pen and paper that he is a dual threat quarterback, but he's shown some ability with his legs today and with his arm as he throws that strikes to Dylan Ware, but it is broken up by the safety. 2nd and 10 now, and that is a screen, or that is an RPO slant pass to the captain, Dylan Ware, who's seen a lot of action today. This time it is a delayed handoff to Stacy Gage, who gets the first down. Under 5 minutes left to go. Cardinals made it all the way to the 15-yard line. Can they finish off this drive as they hand it off to Stacy Gage, who gets a gain of 4? Almost, or just at the 11-yard line, and that is going to get them within 10. Stacy Gage down to the 7. 3rd and short now. Elijah Jackson in the backfield. He's going to stay in. He's going to go out for the pass, and that is nearly a sack as Stephen Wakefield is forced to throw it away, and Joe Graves is going to kick the field goal and put him up 2 scores. Jazzcats now need 10 points with less than 4 minutes to go. Dante Selvia throwing 2 interceptions today and another errant pass. He doesn't do well in these fourth quarters. It seems like he kind of gets scared in a way and gets rattled, especially after he throws an interception. It is now 3rd and long once again for this Jazzcat offense. Let's see what Dante Selvia can do. He had 2 rushers down the middle free, and that is going to be luckily an incompletion. 4th and 8, Jazzcats are going for it, and that is going to be a wide open receiver. He catches it. No! It's broken up. Amen Belfast wide open on the boundary. No defender around him. Keeps his feet in bounds, but at the very last second, it is broken up. That was Eric McClain on the breakup to kind of save Ball State the game. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left. Ball State 2nd and 5. Already in the red zone with that run. Stephen Wakefield did get injured on the play, however, so their backup quarterback is going to come in on 3rd and 5, and he completes a pass to Dylan Ware to give him the first down. 1st and 10 now as the clock's winding down. They're going to burn as much clock as possible. It's going to be an option or an RPO to Stacy Gage, and that is going to be a pass caught by Isaiah Thacker. There's going to be another run or just run option. It's going to be run into the end zone. The backup quarterback gets in there. Touchdown. Ball State puts the game away. And, I mean, what an opportunity for the backup quarterback to get in there for a couple plays and get the touchdown. Here we see Demetrius Day running the ball for 9 yards. At the 2-minute mark now, 2nd and 1. They only need the first down, and Dante Selvia is going to pick that up with his legs. Time winding down, though, a little over a minute and a half to go. Can the Jazzcats make magic happen? Dante Selvia is just going to take the check down, take the easy yardage to Antoine Riverman, and that is going to be a first down for the Jazzcats. Time is still winding, though, as the ball was down inbounds. 1st and 10, we're going to take the check down once again to Antoine Riverman. We did not get the first down, however, so the clock did not stop until we got to the line of scrimmage. Sub 50 seconds left. We're going to try to take the check down again, almost intercepted. Dante Selvia not having a good start to the season. Let's see if he can make up for it with less than 50 seconds to go. He's going to test single coverage, and that is going to be intercepted once again. McClain on the pick. He has 2 today. Caleb Merritt on the tackle, who plays both offense and defense. Bet he didn't think he was going to get a tackle on offense today. St. Louis State falls 20-3 to Ball State. Stephen Wakefield, almost 60% completion. That's going to help his stats on the year. 197 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and he's going to be all right with his injury. He's not going to be out for long. St. Louis State failed to even get a touchdown today, but it is 3 interceptions by Dante Sylvia today, and it's time to have some. It's time to start having some real conversations about his ability as a quarterback for this St. Louis State offense. And last year we had more of a running ability from our quarterback and maybe not as efficient passing, but Dante Sylvia, 50% completion percentage, 3 interceptions, 35 yards from Demetrius Day, receiving 45 yards by Gorgeous Rhodes. Blocking, we got Lipinski letting in a sack. Tom Bates injured in that game, and really our offense couldn't do anything else without him. Caleb Redd, the captain, 10 tackles and a sack from him, along with safety Otis Blues and defensive tackle Richard Castellon. Caleb Merritt, 4 tackles, 4 passes defended. One of those tackles on offense. He wins Conference USA Defender of the Week. Next week, we take on Georgia State, the Jaguars. And hopefully we can win against them, as we are 0-2 on the year. Thank you everybody for watching, and let me know, give me feedback about my audio. I've spent really the last week completely refining it, so hopefully the audio sounds a lot better for you guys, and I'll be back very, very soon now that my setup is complete with some more St. Louis State Jazzcat action.